Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Here we are, session number 2 of European Tour event number 3. We are ready to rock and roll. How are you? Hope you enjoyed the little break in between. What's going down as we get ready for the evening session in Risa. Come and say hi if you are with us. I think that's the first one. Jermaine Wattimena. Right, score line up. Welcome along, everyone. Jermaine Wattimena, Carol Sedlacek to kick us off. What did everyone get up to in the little mid-session interval, shall we say? Come and say hi. 8 games this evening to go with the fabulous 8 we had this afternoon. Evening, Wayne. Hope you are good. First session, you missed victories for Wessel Nyman, Mario van Bohada, Richie Edhouse, Cameron Menzies, Andrew Gilding, Luke Woodhouse, Kian van Veen, and Laban Darius Labanauskas. Dan Dawson is on the walkway. The fans are already in Risa. Remember, Risa used to be called the home of the Iceman. It was where Gerwin Price always won. The arena looks rammed this evening. So Wattimena and Sedlacek getting us underway on this fabulous Friday evening. How are we doing, Daryl? You know, my friend, you know, another wonderful evening of top tungsten action on the PDC European Tour. Jermaine Wattimena has won the darts in the ball. He will throw first against Sedlacek. So, let's get ourselves ready to rock and roll. Let's run you through the fixtures. Wattimena against Sedlacek, Pietreczko against Ratajski, Raymond van Barneveld. I'm not even going to try and butcher this poor lad's name. Michael Smith against Thibaut Tricole. This could be the game of the night. Dirk van Duijvenbode against Nico Springer. Martin Schindler taking on Isn't He Lovely? Thomas Lovely. Mike De Decker against Daniel Klose. Then finishing the night, the rock star Joe Cullen will take on Stack Attack Robert Owen in what should be an incredible evening's darts. You're awake. I've not left. I will tell I popped to the shop to get some more Lucozade. I've deliberately not gone home, Chris, otherwise I wouldn't have woken up. I'm not going to lie, I am tired right now, but I will get through the next 4 hours for you guys here on the European Tour. I went to the shop, had some Lucozade, had some chicken bites, a couple of other snacky bits, but it's all good. Did we see the news as well? Rob Cross withdrew 20 minutes after play, meaning the winner of this game, I think it is, gets a bye to Sunday. The winner of this will not play tomorrow. Rob Cross is out. Not very well. What's Sedlacek walking onto these days? No idea. Not very well. Look, that's the reason given. Being in your 40s. Look, the fact I've had 90 minutes sleep since yesterday That's got a little bit to do with it, but we are here. We are keeping you guys up to date with everything that is going on. Sedlacek is walking. He's on the stage, which means the machine gun Jermaine Wattimena will begin his descent to the stage in a minute. Sedlacek giving it some to the crowd, getting him involved. He wants a Premier League place. How are we doing, James? Good to have you in. I will sleep well tonight, that is for sure. Yeah, look, James, look, the rules are the rules, so look, you can't change them. But I think that you could have still gone with. I know the tournament has started, but the fact that Cross hadn't played his first game, I still think he should be able to be replaced. Look, it was still 20 past 12. Could Connor Scott have got there by tomorrow? It might have been tough, but I'm pretty sure he could. Wait, let's do a. No direct flights tonight. However, it might have been more difficult than we thought. Yeah, there's a couple of early flights that he could have got in the vicinity and then got the train. So yeah, it was doable to get the replacement out there. But like I say, look, the rules are the rules. Yeah, I'm going to watch. I've watched half of it. I'm going to watch the other half probably tomorrow morning. I think. Yeah. Yeah, like Tim, it is closer, but there's not so many direct flights is the issue. I remember I went to Riesa 2 years ago, and the flights from Berlin didn't work. So Gezi and let me just pick that name up. Literally after he won, he beat Michael in the final. We went back to the hotel, got our stuff, got the train from Riesa to Leipzig to Hanover, then flew from Hanover. Yeah, I haven't got a problem that as long as they haven't played, I still think a replacement should be found. Nina, it is true, yes. Rob Cross withdrew not very well this afternoon. And Jermaine Wattimena takes the opening leg. He leads 1-0 on throw. John, is this televised? It's on PDC TV, buddy. Phil, did you see on the stick to football? No, I've watched half of it. I haven't watched it all yet. Not on. It is, mate. I'm watching it on PDC TV as we speak now. Yeah, I pay for my PDC TV. I do claim it back as an expense. Wattimena could be asking some questions here of the Sedlacek throw early. He's down to a finish first on the Sedlacek darts. Waiting for the Barneveld. Fair enough, mate, fair enough. Barney Army will be in action in a few games' time. It's what he should be winning. And should be winning quite comfortably, to be fair. But Wattimena is threatening 2-0 here. Has left double 18 to break the Sedlacek darts. Fabulous cheeky little 14 dart leg for the machine gun, and he is in complete control here of this match. How we doing, Rob? Good to have you in, buddy. We are all ready to rock and roll again for what should be a fabulous evening. Is the MVG shoulder injury a concern? Look, we don't know the extent of it yet, so could it be? Yes. And until we know the extent of it, I don't know. Absolutely, I'm going to have a lay-in tomorrow. Michael Smith and Mike De Decker having a little practice together. But Sedlacek is back in this tie all of a sudden. So almost back in it. Wattimena threatening the 158 finish. Swap you feel 5:30 wake up tomorrow for an early kick. To be fair, I am looking forward to my own bed and lying in. Did anyone else moan about the drafty venue last night? I don't know, to be honest. And look, darts is... It's one of those where Luke Humphreys' dart is very different to everyone else's. It is really long. So that wind blows the dart all over the place. If you've got a shorter dart, like the Taylor Bomb and so on, if there's a breeze, it doesn't notice as much. It's the makeup of Luke's dart which doesn't help because it is so long. That stem is long, and that's what the breeze blows. I'm a big Celtic fan. I love Ange, but yeah, it was a silly move. And look, his place is hanging by a thread. And when I say a thread, I mean the Europa League. If that goes, I think he's Romeo done. As So Solid Crew once said. 21 seconds. Only certain people will get that reference. If you do, you listen to a good era of music. But Sedlacek looking as if he is going to level this tie up. And he will if he hits double 10. And he doesn't. He's just given Wattimena an opportunity. It's a big opportunity, and it's not going to go. So Sedlacek will return for a level game. And it is 2-2. Wattimena just come off the boil a little bit here. It's not the same Wattimena that was swashbuckling his way through the opening couple of legs. And all of a sudden, Sedlacek is just going through the gears, the Czech nightmare. This is very exciting. Good stuff. I'm glad. Glad you approve. Wattimena not on a finish, but Sedlacek, he's not going to leave one either. So Wattimena doesn't find a treble though. So again, he's giving Sedlacek the chance for 3 legs on the spin. Wattimena is going to get a go at the 152, but after treble 21st there, Sedlacek will be disappointed he's not lower. And Wattimena has set it up brilliantly. Tops. Oh, we went the other way. We went the 16s route on 80. Didn't get a go. So now Wattimena to lead once more. And Sedlacek will be kicking himself here. He hasn't taken advantage. And Wattimena pops double 3 with the last start in hand. 3-2. The Dutchman leads. Said that was a chance that Sedlacek has not taken. The opportunity was there for Carral, Sedler box. Wattimena's average is just consistently dropping here. He was 2-0 up, averaging about 105, and it's just about, just below 97 at the moment. Not having it all his own way, Wattimena. And Sedlacek has all the time in the world here to try and make this 3 legs all. You go from best of 11 to best of 5. Wattimena does find a 140. Sedlacek, if he keeps this straight, will get a dart at tops. And 80 it goes in 3. We are level, 3 legs apiece. Who's your money on, chat room? Who's the better option at the moment? What is everyone up to this evening? Anything nice planned? Let us know. Oh, excuse me. Some Luca Zard needed. Yeah. Wattimena, it's inconsistent. He'd been brilliantly good of late, but it's erratic at the moment. I'm evil, bang bang. You got about the backs of Paddy one, Ocean. Stephen says Sedlacek for me. And look, I think this leg has just swung back in Wattimena's favour, and being he has the dart, Sedlacek is going to have to break him at some point. It might be here, because from 78, Wattimena has not got a dart at a double, because he misfired the bullseye. For Sedlacek doesn't go, so he has had an opportunity. It may have been at the ball, but it was still a chance, and he hasn't taken it. But nor has Wattimena. Misses tops, misses tens, and now Sedlacek coming back for 41. 9 for double 16 is the MO. And Sedlacek has broken Jermaine Wattimena. Evil Charlie is in front. Wattimena has to find the answers here and has to find them quickly. The Sedlacek fan club is in the house. Start, bench, sell for your darts team. Oh. Are we talking, Stephen, as dart players? Don't stop. Players, yeah. Well, this is purely... You'd have to start Duzzer because he won Lakeside 3 times and the Premier League. Bench Nico because he did win a PDC TV event. Sorry, Mace. I'm selling Mace. Comms, I'm not doing it because I wouldn't sell or bench any of them. I'd start them all. No, if you go back to 2019, there was probably a 4 to 6 month period where Glenn Durham was genuinely the best player in the world. Sedlacek is one away from what would be an upset. Yeah. Mace wasn't... Mason's career is massively underappreciated. Mace was an incredible player. Doesn't get the credit he deserves as a player. Wattimena has to hold here. It was the Lakeside game against Wolfie, still one of my all-time best games, the Mace at Martin Adams game. It was incredible. And what is incredible is that 1-2-2 from Jermaine Wattimena to keep his hopes alive. Sedlacek was sat on 80 if he missed. Wattimena holds with a topper. But now it's in Sedlacek's hands. No trouble, just opens the door again for Wattimena. Look, at 140 only gets him level. So it's still in Sedlacek's hands here. Big last dart, hits the treble 19, forcing Wattimena to think big. But he comes up dry, so it is now all over to Karel Sedlacek. But again, no trouble for him. 2 trouble visit for Wattimena. Gets him to a finish. Again, the poor visit from Sedlacek has just allowed Wattimena hope. Sedlacek leads 52. And the 164 from Wattimena will not go, meaning Sedlacek will get match darts here. And he gets 2 at double 16. Karel Sedlacek has beaten Jermaine Wattimena in somewhat of an upset. Wattimena had been playing fabulous of late, But it is Sedlacek who stops the machine gun. The Sedlacek fan club is in the house. He's like, it's me! It's me! Coming up next, this should be a cracker of a game. Pietreczko against the Polish Eagle, Krzysztof Ratajski. How are you doing, Maximus? Hope you are good, mate. The most incredible thing about that game was it was a game of doubles. Oh, nice to see you're in a nice positive mood today, TK. Only positivity, please. Big fish incoming in this matchup. Look, Ratajski's posted some big numbers recently. He's not always won the games. The Pro Tour game against Gary Anderson springs to mind. Where Ando went berserk and averaged about 120. Ratajski around the 108 mark and had nothing to show for it. So, match 1 of 8 in the ledger. Yeah, oh look, Ratajski is composed, I agree. And look, Pietreczko hasn't been free-flowing this year. Count that to the game. Yeah, they're not hanging around tonight, Rob, are they? They're like, come on, let's get on with this. Love her, Scotty, love her. Oh, I mean, yeah, we were like, come on, count that. I must admit, I would like a load of 6-1, 6-2s, even a couple of 6-0s would be nice. But if Ratajski can win this one 6-1, 6-2, if Barney can get his skates on and get it done, Michael Smith, I think Dirk and Nico Springer's got legs in it. I think they're both playing well. If then Mike the Decker can get rid of Daniel Klose quite quickly, I actually think Cullen and Owen will be quite close as well. Phil, whose entrance music is worst for their personality? Again, it wasn't really his personality, but I loved it when Ratajski used to come onto the Wenger Boys. That was an incredible pick by someone. I'm not sure he's quite a status quo man either, but Ratajski rocking Wenger Boys does make you smile. Yeah, Ryan Joyce coming on to Tetris is right up there with horrific. Daryl Gurney coming on to Sweet Caroline is right up there. Karel Sedlacek won the last game. Yeah, Sedlacek front 9 average of 103.50. Jermaine a bit disappointed with his scoring game today. Wasn't there. Only a front 9 of 98.83. Quite like Dolan's. Oh, what is it? To Boston. Yeah, it's alright. Scott Williams blocking My Chemical Romance. Sweet Caroline is massively overused. As for nicknames, Phil, I think the Power should have been one. Yeah, look, the Power one all came back in the day, wasn't it? It was one of the Sky producers gave it to Phil, said, "Oh, your nickname's going to be the Power, and you're going to walk onto this," and it stuck. It's Christoph. I'm going to put a little bit of sand on and hope it's the Wenger boys. No, he still status quo. Rubbish, Christoph. Bring back the Wenger boys. And people are getting sneaky now on the old walk-on signatures. It's not just cards, you've got people bringing in professional photos for them to sign. Christoph is on the stage. Now here comes Pietreczko. He'll have a smooch with his missus on the walkway as well on the way down. Walk-on's gone. Yeah, Ratajski's doesn't normally do all that. I'm watching Wenger boys on top of the pop. Nice. I mean, Wadey bit of Elton John. To be fair, Wadey's choice of going to Elton John, I'm Still Standing, is superb. And there's someone at the front that's got like a pad of pictures. It looks as if there was just a few extra security on the walk-on now as well. Getting these boys to hurry up a little bit. Some of us have got some sleep to catch up on. Pietreczko has won the ball. He will throw first. One German fan is very happy because Pietreczko signed his Pokemon thing. I'll tell you one thing, it's not a Charizard PSA 10. Just came out to Pokemon in German. Tommy, no, I've not spoken to Michael today. He was hoping to get some treatment today and so on, so I haven't spoken to him. No, I know nothing about Pokemon. I just know that's good because I keep seeing clips of it on TikTok. The old Charizard PSA 10. If you had to pick some song, was it? I'm picking Gildings. I'd keep changing my walk-on song all the time, depending on what mood I was in. Bit of Celine Dion one day, bit of Kenny Loggins the next. Should the shot be done on the stage first? Look, would it be good? Yes, 100%. But I've known sometimes the balls shoot up in the back room take 15 minutes before. So, in theory, yes, but in practical, I don't think it works. We all know Cross has done well, but do you think I should be missing the next few events rather than... no, look, Cross, he'll probably play the Pro Tour, you'd have thought. Does anyone have Enter the Sandman? I'm not sure anymore, but someone has definitely used Enter the Sandman before. Like that. Was it Jake or Logan Paul that didn't they pay 1.25 million for a Charizard or something? Like Ratajski has broken Pietreczko in the opener. Was it Wade? It was someone, TK. I know someone has used Enter the Sandman before. Oh, I'll say everyone loves a bit of Celine. I don't know, a bit of all coming back to me now. I think would go down and treat as the walk-on. Money for Logan. Yeah, I remember. There was this one dude in America. I watched it. It was on. What's the old pawn shop? Bit where I can't remember. Is it Rick, the guy's name? This one guy must have bought this stack of Pokemon cards in, and they were all like in mint condition. Come on, that's it, Rob. No, Logan Paul has a Pikachu illustrated. Nice. Yeah, look, I was never... Pokemon was never my thing back in the day. No, Joyce, little girlie, nope. Yeah, what was... Yeah, I remember when Rick didn't have a clue what was going on. It was funny. Pietreczko is threatening an instant break back here. Both decent averages so far. I traded hundreds of football cards for an... Obviously, most people know Matt Edgar collects old toys and figures and stuff. His collection's incredible. Pietreczko has blown the opportunity here. Ratajski was never really in this leg, but he's come inside, and that's why double 18 is unforgiving, because it's nice if you hit it, but when you go inside 18s and inside 9s, Pietreczko can't pin the madhouse. The averages have plummeted in this leg. And Ratajski coming back for double 4. The Polish Eagle. Is he going to fly? It's all getting a bit messy, this leg. Their averages have dropped by nearly 20 points in this leg. It has not been good from either. Pietreczko was in complete control. And now he's missed yet again. Ratajski coming back for double two. It's the dog and duck against the goose and Labrador. It's not the Euro Tour. It's Dave against Bill. And they're both in the madhouse now. Oh my. Who wants double one? And Pietreczko finally hits double one. Look, I think the right person has won the leg. Just about 20 visits after it should have happened. I used to have penny stickers as a kid. Phil, I'm asking a lot, but do you remember the first time seeing someone go double on one? I don't remember the first time. It sort of like happened, didn't it? I can't remember the first time I've got a Labrador. the old goose and Labrador against the old dog and duck. Or it could be a local derby. It could be the King's Head against the Nag's Head. Oh, they were tasty back in the day, weren't they? I'm not sure if there's many King's Head pubs around anymore. Would there be a way of getting Bo? No, there wouldn't. Not unless she has some German heritage. We could try and smuggle her into the home nation qualifier. Good luck, mate. Good luck. I hope it goes well. Yeah, I remember Rod did tops to win the match play, and that was like unheard of at the time. There's a King's Head pub in Galway Island. To be fair, I've been to Galway for a few days. It's really, really nice. I went at Christmas, probably, that's a while ago now, it's probably 9-10 years ago. We used to have a Nag's Head round here, rough old spot. Every time the Nag's Head, I just think of Only Fools. Do you think Rob's comeback against Gary is the best ever? Gurney, look, there's so many good comebacks, isn't there? It's Waits against Wade, Wade against King. There's just so many. Cross against Dobie, because Dobie's performance level didn't drop either. Across Father Time, there's been loads. Ratajski is not firing here at all. Kind of forget the averages here because they've been skewed by that one horrific leg. But Ricardo Pietreczko is 3-1 up here on Ratajski, and the way Ratajski played earlier on in the week, I was expecting a little bit more from him, I have to say. Evening, James. Hope you are good, mate. Yeah, Rob Cross underrated. I agree when it comes to that. Didn't think Steve Beaton Can't remember that look in Ocean, maybe. Yeah, there's Barney's come back against Taylor in the World Final. Set play comebacks are easier because of that. Winning a set, you don't put your opponent 3 legs away again. Myself a good bad few beers. Not nice, good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Pietreczko 3-1 up now. Ratajski is threatening the Pietreczko throw. This is all getting a bit daft. Yeah, 100%. That was also, I still say to this day, if James had have stayed on stage, he would be world champion. And yeah, Pietreczko's found something here. 75 for a 4-1 lead. It is 4-1. In the blink of an eye, this game has completely turned. And then Ratajski fires in a max. Do you think there's any... Stephen, like, even if Corey comes out of prison, is rehabilitated, finds a way to play darts again, even locally, because he's got issues to play locally as well. Even if he finds a way to get back playing local darts and so on, I don't see how he'll ever get a visa to come and play in the UK. That's the issue. I don't see how he's ever going to get around the visa issue. Look, I guess money talks, but I still don't know. Ratajski looking at 1-2-8 to cut the gap to 4-2. Yeah, I think so too, Rob. But look, you never know that he might find a good lawyer that finds a loophole and can get him into the... I don't know. Well, 100% Stephen, if Corey Cadby never plays professional darts again, it is the biggest waste of talent in the sport's history. When you talk about averages, Phil, I know everyone doesn't stuff. Respect for averages. I don't know. The honest answer is I don't know. Ocean, he's currently not available to play darts due to time at His Majesty's pleasure, and there's some quite serious charges in there, so I don't see how he gets round the visa application. He was an interesting character as well, but look, I've spent quite a lot of time in Corey's company when he was over here the first 2 times. When I was working for my previous employers doing the darts, that I don't mind mentioning them, when I was with Live Darts, we had Corey in, and we did a sit down with him and so on. And actually, we did the 60-second challenge. And at the time, he broke what was the world record with these very darts because he forgot his. But yeah, look, I've spent many a time in his company, and to me, he was always very nice, very pleasant. You could have a laugh with him. But look, that obviously doesn't excuse the things that he's done. But yeah, I think he's a very Jekyll and Hyde character because look, there are obviously issues. You don't have that charge sheet that you've got, and we've all seen the videos. If you're not, but like I say, whenever I was in his company, he was always very pleasant and very nice. Pietreczko looking to go 5-2 in front, let anybody into the UK. It would be fireworks, agreed. Could Corey... look, in my opinion, Corey could have been one of the stars of the sport. He came alive on stage. Again, we talk about Scott Williams. Chest was out, and he owned that stage at all opportunities. Corey playing in front of these massive arenas and so on. And look, I still think that when he got to the UK Open final, the year after that, if he'd have stayed in the UK, I think he'd have been in the Premier League because he ticked all the boxes back then. I'm not sure. Someone said he got 2.5 years, Martin, but that's not confirmed. Someone said in the chat room, one of our Aussie friends in the chat room said he got about 2.5 years, I think. But that might be accurate. That might not be. I don't know. Pietreczko is a leg away. Ratajski would have to win 4 on the spin from here. Unlikely. When he played Gezi, it was crazy. Do you remember when he played Phil in the World Series events when he was a relatively unknown? That people within darts, especially Dan Under, were saying that this kid's the real deal and so on. He didn't care for reputations. He was fearless up there. Smooth throwing action. He literally had it all. Like, now look, we don't know if careers had panned out the way they did, but if he'd carried on that trajectory, carried on playing, could you imagine him versus Littler now? It would have been fireworks. Remember, in a short space of time, he got to, controversially, 2 TV finals. I get one of them was a World Series event, but it was still on TV and it was still a final. And he got to the New Zealand Darts Masters final and the UK Open final. It was just mad. Ratajski looking at the big fish to save himself. Otherwise, Pietreczko is going to get a match-winning opportunity, and that is exactly what is going to happen. Ratajski, no fish on the end of his line. So Pietreczko 66 to win it. It all goes back to leg 2 when they were both calamitous on doubles. Considering that leg was so bad, the averages are still okay. Match start missed at double 4 for Ricardo. Can Christoph save the day? 72. It's going to be one dart, and that dart will be at double 16. Missed again for Ratajski. The doubling percentage for the Polish Eagle is only 14%. He has had an absolute mare. And Ricardo Pietreczko sees off the Polish Eagle. Stephen, right now, is it possible? I don't know, is the honest answer. Because he's inside, I don't know if there's any way of doing it. It might be a case of waiting until he's out. Raymond van Barneveld has lost the ball. It's not the end of the world, as we know. But it might be a European Tour, but the same rules apply. The Barney alarm has sounded. We are 2 games in out of 8. Do we know what kind of form at the World Championships is going to be this year? No, it's 100%, Tom. It's 128 players. We just don't know the makeup of it yet. But I know that we were all asking the question, would they try and work it so it was some dodgy seeding pattern? Apparently not. We believe it will be everyone in that 1 to 8. Look, of course, Stephen. Look, they'll try and distance themselves. But what I'm saying is that if Corey comes out, look, at the moment he's still got challenges to even play in Australia, I believe. But if he can then come back and at least play locally, it's a start. And look, could we see him in the Australian Premier League in a couple of years? Could he go and win the Oceanic Masters? And so on. The answer to that is yes. If he's at any level that he was before his unfortunate circumstances, then look, like I said, can he rebuild his career in terms of ability? Probably. But the issues that he's got are always going to be hanging over him, and I'm not sure he'll ever be able to shift them off. I hope Raymond is aware of the importance of the Barney alarm for the darting community. But again, like I say, he's got issues to even play locally yet. And look, we've spoken about this on the live lounge before. But by the look of it, darts in Australia is a bit of a mess at the moment. It's very political and so on. You've got 3 different bodies all doing bits in Australia, and certain players will only play in one, and so on. It's a bit of a mess. Well, here's a question for you. If he came back, his music, funny answers only. It's the Sound of the Police. Hard Day's Night. Jailhouse Rock. So there's a few good ones for that. Locked Up Akon, fan of that. That's good. That's good work. Yeah, like same with Ron. I like that. That's good. There's a few good ones we could go for. Again, getting him in the country is the issue, I think. Well, Crow song, and there you go. But yeah, Kyle Anderson wanted to walk onto that at the World Championships, wasn't allowed to. Or I think he did once and they made him change it or something. Just getting him in the UK would be the issue. Pictures are back. Raymond van Barneveld. How are we doing, John? Yeah, Ryan Searle played last game this afternoon and lost 6-3 to Darius Labanauskas. Laban played lovely. What's happening in Australia is a disgrace, and then I'm seeing huge strides being taken by North American players. Yeah, look, it is what it is. Each darting territory and landscape is different. So, waiting for Barney to walk on. Yeah, look, again, Kyle, one of the nicest people, the most infectious smile, and just genuinely one of life's good guys, 100%. Yeah, John, it wasn't upset, but Labanauskas played well. Laban played some good stuff. And here he comes. Raymond van Barneveld. James, at that point, Kyle was a dart at double 32 away from the Premier League. If he'd have hit double 16 against Michael, I think, and so do a lot of others, he'd have been in the Premier League. I haven't got the sound on, Teresa. What was it? The honest answer was, Darryl, I don't know, and I wouldn't want to speculate. So because I don't know, I don't know if they ever found it out or anything. Some German dance song. The old German dance was back. Do you think money is Barney's own motivation factor at this? I think only Raymond can answer that. Again, I don't know what's going on inside Raymond's head, whether he still believes he can or not. Have a look at Patrick's throw here. First time I've seen him. I don't dislike the throw. It's quite mechanical, but it works. The follow through is good. But this is a game that Barney should be winning. How are we doing, Aaron? Hope you are good. Hello, Phil. Who do you think the 3 best Irish dart players? So there are obviously some from years ago that I've not seen play. I know people speak a lot about Tom Kirby and things like that, but that was before my time. So if you're asking me who I think the 3 best, are we talking just Republic? If we're talking just Republic, in my opinion right now, William O'Connor, on current form as we speak, I would say Dylan Slethen and John O'Shea. Controversial, I know, because John doesn't have a tour card, but I think he's playing to a higher level than Steve Lennon and Keane Barry at the moment. Look, I appreciate they've got tour cards, so it may be a hard justification, but I think that he's playing to a better level than those at the moment. Look, Willie's number 1 and by some way, I think. Barney loses the opener, so it wasn't too bad because it was against the throw. What players do you think the most fluent, look the most smooth? Look, when they were both Gary, Adrian, Littler, Michael back in the day, not this version of Michael Smith. Yeah, again, I only caught the end of Mick McGowan's career, so I don't know if he's still playing or not. This is better from Barney, and interesting that Barney has stuck with the conventional flight and stem system that we saw last Euro Tour and on the Pro Tour. He's gone away from the moulded flight and stem and seems to be playing better. Yeah, the John Lowe throw was nice. It was just it's a bit slow, wasn't it? Keane Barry is my favourite player on tour, lives close. Oh look, Keane could be incredible. Keane has the tools to be such a good player, just we've not seen it. Yeah, look, Dimitri's action is lovely. It's just all the stuff in between that's when it actually gets to the oche and sets, it's fine, but it's getting into the oche that's the issue, as Barney does level up 1-1. So it's good. Look, it's great to see that John O'Shea is looking incredible at the moment. We all know he's had some health problems, and he's put a lot of work in. He's playing some good stuff. Looks good. Your throws a bit like Gemma Hatersfield. Do you think Gemma holds more at the front, if I remember rightly? The Josh Rock action is looking smooth at the moment. Again, who am I to tell someone to play darts? But I don't think the K-Flex is right for Josh's throw, or the one he's got in. I think either he needs a slightly longer one, or a normal flight and stem would work better for him. But look, that's just me looking. Who am I to... What time are we expecting Bully Boy on? He's on next. So however long this one takes. I hope Keane comes good. I like his darts line. I'm the other way. I preferred the change when he went to having them stand up to attention. I think when you have your dart at that angle, you have to be too precise for me. There's too much going on. But look, that's how he likes it. I preferred Keane when he made the change. I don't get the K-Flex system. I don't see it. So look, I understand that your flight's always going to be at 90-degree angles. They don't. So look, I get it, but for me, there's no giving them. If your point catches that or not just K-Flex, any moulded flight and stem, it's going to end up on the floor. It takes all the power out of it. Where a traditional flight, even if you clip, as long as you throw with a little bit of power, your dart should still end up in the board. Cammy's action is lovely. Yeah, there are pros and cons to the moulded flighting system. The moulded flighting system, 100%. Look, some people love it, some don't. Storm points. I've never used the storm point, so I don't know. Yeah, it works for some people. How are we doing, Ron? Good to have you in, my friend. Barney has taken control of this one. It was a slowish start, but he's now averaging 102. Bow in full flow. The action is superb. Do you think we'll get Cody or any of Punk? I'm not sure, to be fair. I'm not going to watch it live tonight, Daz. Either I need to sleep, so I'm not. I'll have a look in the morning. Look, we saw Bo at one point. Her dartitis was really bad. Fallon's throw is lovely. Again, it's the same time after time. Yeah, Fallon's action is lovely. Right, Ronnie Baxter did have a really funny throw. The way he kind of covered the dart in his hand. To be fair, it looks like Patrick is throwing a Dimitri phase or Gen 1 dart. Remember Dennis Smith very, very well. I remember Dennis Smith. Well, Barney playing with a slim flight, or has he changed to a slim flight? The 156 for Barney, the signature shot. Doesn't go. He's had a dart for 4-1. Gary Neville's been practicing since playing. Nice. No, Rob, we would imagine he's just feeling unwell. I would imagine he'll be fine for Manchester. All I say, James, is that the Premier League is a different... And I'm not questioning Bo's ability because she can play. But we've seen the Premier League ruin people. It is brutal and unforgiving. Yeah, he might look. Should imagine he's got a flight home today. Couple of days at home, couple of days rest, and he should be good. Barney averaging 104 here. This is a vintage Raymond van Barneveld performance, but this is the problem that Barney's had. We've seen these eye-catching performances before. He has to do it today, then he has to back it up tomorrow, and so on. He can't just do it one-off. Right, how are we doing, Joe? Good to have you in. The thing is, Wes used to stand like this. Used to throw like that. I wonder if we'll see many of the Prem players at the Pro Tour. It's good. I think Littler will play because he's not at the Euro Tour. Which of the old time players would you most like to see win something? Hazard. I'd love to see Jockey Wilson back winning. (5-1) to Barney. He is one away. I know it's two different levels of player, Phil, but Bunting struggled to win a game in the Premier League. But Bunting was averaging the fourth highest running average in the Premier League and hadn't won until last night. That's how brutal it was. Ton averages don't guarantee you wins in the Premier League. Kieran's a real lovely lad as well. Cricket is the best game in the world. Okay. Take your word for it. Yeah, he would rather play on the Euro Tour, but just Risa is a bitch to get to. is the long and the short of it. Look, and unless he physically wants to, I don't think we'll see Luke play in any Euro Tour event that is a nightmare to get to. Barney leaves the big fish to win it in some style. Could he? No. First one went. But leaves 36. This has been exceptional from Barney. Double 18 is his favourite. But double 9 will do. Raymond van Barneveld with a 6-1 demolition job, averaging 105. That is very, very good from Raymond van Barneveld. One of his best performances we've seen in a long, long time. And Barney roars. Coming up next, it is Michael Smith against Thibaut Tricole. And Barney marches on. The Barney army will be here tomorrow. Raymond van Barneveld. It's good stuff from him. Good stuff indeed. Is Gob expecting? Not that I know of. Look, Phil in his prime was incredible. Has there ever been a South American pro other than Paul Taylor? Not that I can remember. I don't think so. The bully boy, Michael Smith. And Bully Boy has won the ball as well. Predictions, I think Bully Boy wins. I liked what I saw from Michael at the Pro Tour. Look, I agree that Taylor's longevity cannot be questioned. But if you said to me, and look, I'm not saying I'm right or anything like that, but if you said to me, Phil at his very best or Michael at his very best, who wins more times? I think Michael. But Phil's longevity, it was like nothing we've ever seen. So, what are your score predictions then, chat room, for Michael Smith against Thibaut Tricole? (3-1) 6-3 Smith. Does Littler have slimmer darts to the others? No, I've had a chuck with his darts. They're just a standard straight barrel, mate. Oh, Tricole is decent. Tricole's had a really good life. Start to life on tour. I wouldn't say easy. How you doing? Wondering, does Michael Smith remind you of Maya? No. We've got a couple of minutes till Pictures return. Remember, get your score predictions in. Michael Smith against Thibaut Tricole. Coming up after that, Duijvenbode against Nico Springer, which should be an absolute belter of a game. Thoughts on... look, it wasn't the brightest move. And it might be the move that signs his death warrant. Look, whilst we're still in the Europa League, he, for me, has the right to see it out. Would I be surprised if he went before then? No, absolutely not. But I don't know who comes in, is the thing. Yeah, but it was it was a head loss. Yeah, look, maybe, but the injury has played a massive part to that. Before the injury, he was on course to be a Premier League player at that point. Yeah, VAR didn't cover itself in glory. Look, I've got no issue with the referee giving a yellow card on field because he gets one chance to look at it. It's the idiots in the control room that don't say, look, you've missed it. And also, look, I get by the law, it might not be offside, but I think the Liverpool goal was offside. How we doing? Trent is a rat. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't know. Look, my number one choice isn't available. So look, again, this is just my opinion. VAR in rugby is quite factual. These things are things like, was the ball grounded? Did the ball go forward? And so on. The things in football are still very subjective. There are still things that people will disagree on. Is the thing. There's still going to be human error, where I think that the laws in rugby are quite simple with things like connection with the head and neck and so on. They're all very, very factual. Is it only players and commentators allowed into the Pro Tour? Ish. So the players are allowed a guest each as well. Poch won't be Spurs manager next year. He won't leave the USA job before the World Cup. But yeah, Berlin was good. It was literally in and out. Do we know what dart player? Yeah, Chris Dobie. Couple of drinks before the game is a must. I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. Thing is, for all the officials want Liverpool to... No, I don't buy into that. I don't buy into the officials want Liverpool to lose. Here comes the bully boy. But don't you dare look back. De Bruyne exits. Yeah, look, I think De Bruyne will end up in probably the MLS for a couple of years, go and enjoy himself, play some football in North America. Look, I just think that VAR is just flawed because things are subjectional. Just get rid of it and go back to as it was. I don't mind factual calls. Offside, if you're offside, people don't like it, but if you're offside, you're offside. But things like, is it a foul, and how far back do we go, how far back do we look? Love the lives film. Thank you very much, mate. Glad you do. Liverpool scored a few wins, a bit fortunate this season overall. Look, I said this the other day, and we were talking that Liverpool have been the best side in the Premier League this year. I don't think there's an argument there. But is this a great Liverpool team? No, not for me. I think a couple of the Liverpool teams that finished runners-up to City were a better side than this. They've been the best side in what's been a poor Premier League season. And I don't want to take anything away from them because they have been the best side. But I just don't think it's been a great Premier League year. Watching Chumbawamba on Top of the Pops, that's a great call. At what point do you think automatically offside? Look, we're getting the automated offsides, aren't we, from, is it next week? Here we go, it is game on time. Bully boy, Michael Smith against Thibaut Tricole. Bully boy with a maximum. Jockey Wilson on Top of the Pops. I remember it. I don't remember it though, but I've seen it obviously to remember it. Michael Smith leaves tops unless Thibaut Tricole can take out the biggest of them all, and he can't. So Michael Smith will be coming back to take the opener. And it is 1-0. Yeah, look, and is Arne Slot a good manager? Yeah. Has he got things wrong this year? Absolutely. He got the League Cup final wrong, in my opinion. Look, they had after playing 120 minutes against PSG, they looked so leggy. It was unreal. That I just think it should have been a fresher lineup. Looks as if Tricole's going to level it up. It is 1-1. It's good from Tricole. So, oh yeah, look, 100% he will. Look, you should always be learning. This is good from both players here, and like I said, I've been impressed with Tricole this year, or since he got his card. I wasn't sure if he had these levels in him, but he is producing. But Bully Boy looks in the groove. Like we said, we saw masked improvements from Bully Boy at the Pro Tour. Another treble 19. Would have left the ball. Tricole has the same target. Will he go the same way? Treble 19, or treble 20, treble 18. Tricole, more of a traditionalist. He leaves double 16. He has applied the pressure. But Michael Smith's going to get a couple of darts. And he has missed. So Tricole, break opportunity. The pressure created from Tricole has given him the chance. And he takes it. This is very good. Tricole's averaging 110 right now. I've watched half of it. I haven't watched it all yet. Okay, all we know is he was feeling unwell. That's why he pulled out. Michael Smith running about 104 right now, doing nothing wrong. Another treble was just given Smith the edge here. Tricole is going to have to find something. And he is finding something. We just strayed with that last dart. It's still a finish, but it could have been a little bit nicer than 1-2-6. But Bully Boy needs a treble to rescue this situation. And he's had a mare. So it's advantage Tricole once more. 19 for a dart at the bullseye. And he wires it. Michael Smith, treble 20, double 19. And he's just strayed into the 5. So it's looking as if Tricole is 3-1 in front. Michael Smith has got it all to do. He's just dropped his level here. This is brilliant from Tricole. We were all kind of surprised when Labra was the first Frenchman to win his card. But I don't mean this disrespectfully. Tricole has always been the better player. And he's showing it. Labra never made any impact in his 2 years on tour, where Tricole has qualified for the World Championships. Qualified for Euro Tours. No, Charlie, I don't think it's time to get worried. Look, he's playing to a half decent level. It's not as if he's averaging 82 or anything here. There's enough signs that Michael Smith is on an upward trajectory for me. But Tricole is going to get a little chance here. It's unlike Michael Smith to leave bogey numbers, but he did. Will he pay the price for that? Maybe the setup play could have been better. Double 19 tops. Tricole, this is huge. This is a massive dart, and it goes. Tricole is 4-1 up on the bully boy. Look, Tricole's playing beautifully here. A lot of credit to the Frenchman. He's playing to a very good level at the moment. Very good indeed. No treble there, just gives Michael Smith a glimpse here to attack his throw. And he finds a maximum bit of class there from Bully Boy. He's down to 1-2-1. Makes a mess of the 1-2-1 though. Only leaves 96. Tricole is going to get a dart for 5-1. Tricole's finishing has been magnificent. Absolutely stunning from Tricole. He's 5 from 8. 62% for the Frenchman. Michael Smith will need to run 5 consecutive legs here. Oh, it was a great finish, Jono. Yeah, he's finishing. I'm just watching the Michael Smith throw. They've just had a great side-on shot. He's not done a lot wrong. It's been the Tricole finishing has been world class here. World class. And Bully Boy gets a tops to pin the 108. Very good from Michael Smith. Keeps this one alive. Slack visit from Tricole has opened the door for Smith here. But not really punished. But then Michael Smith finds a max. Tricole's throw is now under pressure as Bully Boy finds his third max of this contest. Sorry, fourth max of this contest. At times, the throw looks as good as ever from Bully Boy. It's just that rebuilding confidence, rebuilding belief in himself. And the 62 goes as well. That is very good. It's a break of throw from Michael Smith. He is applying pressure to Tricole. Look. Can Bully Boy get himself out of a scrape? Either way, again, I know we keep saying it, but I'm seeing enough from Michael Smith to think that obviously legs are a bit stiff, mate. That's all. Just getting some circulation back in. But Tricole is threatening the Smith throw here. He's more than threatening it. He's going to get a match-winning opportunity in this leg. Leaves 96. He's going to get match darts. Up until now, his finishing has been incredible. The suspense, 2 match darts have come and they have gone for Thibaut Tricole, but he will get 3 more minimum to beat the Bully Boy. Smith has left a finish, it's the champagne shot, but Thibaut Tricole sends the Bully Boy packing. What a result for Tricole. A 6-3 win. Look, Thibaut is more than capable. There's a lot to like about Thibaut Tricole. Looks a class operator. Nothing yet, Therese. Look, I still think he's trying to avoid having surgery, but I don't know if he will be able to or not. The problem on his wrist is getting there. Now he's trying to sort his shoulder out. What a result for Tricole. They say dart players aren't athletes. Yeah, look, I still think that once he sorts the injury problems out 100%, he will be fine. Yeah, very important win, Jono. Look, Tricole's aim. If Tricole gets to the Worlds, I think he's fine in terms of tour card and so on. And where is Tricole? Is he? He's not in the Worlds yet, but he's only just over a grand outside. So it's not panic stations for him there or anything like that. There's a lot of players in there already that, again, have got to do it for the whole season. So, there, on the tour card race, Tricole is... Where is Thibaut? He's 57 on the tour card race at the moment. So look, he's got a good... He's got a lot going for him at the moment. He's 65th and he's not in any TV major yet. So... I'll tell you what though, coming up next, this could be an absolute belter of a game. Dirk van Duijvenbode against Nico Springer is going to be good, isn't it, surely? Yeah, he's fifth, as we say, 57th, but on the main order of merit, he's probably 65 because people above him are obviously defending money. So yeah, on the main order of merit, he's 65, but people that are above him have got money coming off. Yeah. So about a minute till we get pictures. But look, the Sousa looks... I think the Sousa's like the Titanic. Sunk. He doesn't look like getting it back at the moment. It's quite funny at the moment that Michael van Gerwen and Dimitri van den Berg are not in Minehead at the moment. How far down? MVG is currently 99 on that order of merit. Right, 10 seconds till pictures are back. Right. Yes, it was more Michael Smith's set-up play. His front nine average was decent, 106, better than Tricole's. It was more that set-up phase of his game in that one. Do you think Keenbar and Dylan Sledden will keep their cards? Sledden is right on the cusp. And so's Keen, that they both need to get to some TV events. You think that 15 grand for the World Championship is going to be huge? You would, yeah. If they both make Minehead and the Worlds, then the Worlds is the big one. That 15k, you look at it, right? What King Barry on the tour car race is on 64 grand. All of a sudden, put 15 on there, he jumps to 52. The world money is just massive now. Absolutely massive. But Nico Springer is on his way to the stage. Do you think it will be 64 Pro Tour? No, I don't. It'll be obviously the those extra places, extra 32 places, most are going to go to international qualifiers. Who's winning this one? I think Dirk. So do you think it will stay? We don't know is the answer. That's why we're waiting for the information from the PDC, because players need to know how they're qualifying for tournaments. Sorry, just happened. What's happening with the pro? We're talking about how they're qualifying for the Worlds. We don't know where those extra places are going yet. There's 32 extra places available. Barry has already said the majority will be going to internationals. So with that, I think, would it be fair to assume that it will be 24 to international qualifiers and 8 more for the Pro Tour? Would that be a fair assumption? Yeah, no, it would be great to see one of them to jump and look. The issue is, and it goes back to what we were saying, there are talented players around the world. There are talented players in North America, Asia, New Zealand, Australia. It's that gamble. Do you jump and play with your family's future on a hope? or do you play it safe and try and get to Ali Pally every year? And then look, I look at players like Ben Robb, Raymond Smith, Alex Spellman, Adam Savada, Stowe Bunce, David Cameron, and so on. Are they good enough to be on tour? Or are they good enough to give it a go and mix it? Yes, 100%. But it's that risk, isn't it? It's, do you risk your family's safety, well-being, and so on? Michael Smith did lose. Thibaut Tricole played very well. Not going to disrespect the way Thibaut played. Right. I didn't want to say anything. Too often we've got excited and then it's not happened. But Dirk is out of the blocks. But it's on Nico Springer's darts here. Springer is on a double. And Van Duijvenbode has made a mess setting it up. And Nico Springer does take the opener. Again, Dirk's the scoring phase was perfect. It's the setup play that has cost him. But the scoring phase, Dirk is on fire. Da 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 da. Do you think I hope so. Look, there's 3 women's spots as it is. Would I like to see 4? Absolutely. What a game this is from both of them. Nico Springer looks a real player. And Dirk, the scoring phase of his game, is back to his very best. One might say, carry on, gents. Evening, great showman. Hope you are good. I'll tell you what, Nico Springer has left 91 after 9 on the Dirk darts here. Springer is averaging 118. And he's just missed a couple of darts at tops. How key could that be? No, look, there were some really good moments from Smith. Rob, if I'm being critical, I think he scored quite well. I think his setup from 200 to a ton wasn't the best. And early on, Tricole's doubling was superb. The 90 is brilliant from Van Duijvenbode. 25. 25 to the... Oh, that's bold from Dirk. Bold indeed from the Ober Genius. It was great to see Bunting win, yeah. And now, like the last leg, when Springer was asking questions of Van Duijvenbode, the tables have been turned. Van Duijvenbode is now asking questions of Springer. Look, the Pro Tours, forget, this is taking the elite out of the equation because they're in everything. For everyone else, the Pro Tours are so important to get you to where you need to be. Look, forget the top 8, top 10. They're okay. Dirk has broken Springer. This is good from Dirk, averaging 107. Everything else, it's your Pro Tour form, it's your Euro Tour form that gets you to Minehead, gets you to the European Championships, the Worlds. That's where you have to do it. Yeah, the pressure on that World Qualifier this year, for those that don't get it right in the season, is going to be bigger than it has ever been. Look, Springer's got a chance here to break back. A 140 and he's got the Dirk darts under pressure again. 134, that will do. Dirk found a way to break Springer. Is he going to pass the opportunity back? And then Dirk finds a maximum of his own, that'll do. That will do nicely, one might say. 124 for Dirk. 127 in game for Springer. One, 2, 4 is not going to go. So, Nico, we're going to look at this Hinks. Trouble 19 needed for the ball. He's hit the trouble 7, he's gone the wrong side. So Dirk looking at 61 now for 3-1. Double 9, is it going to come to Dirk's rescue? Not this time, so Springer will get the chance to break back. And we are level once again. This one going one way, then the next. This is some reply from Springer. They're both averaging over the ton. Dirk's averaging nearly 106. Dirk, another. Till he double 19. Oh, he's gone the wrong side. He's got into the treble 5. So Nico Springer looking at the Mensa, the double 14. Oh, and he's gone into the wrong bed. And Dirk leads once more. This is an entertaining game. Yeah, look, Dirk is right back, isn't he? One, three, four for Dirk. Yeah, I'm just not... Every time Dirk just gets something going, he then hands the momentum back. Was it his drop off in consistency? No, so for Dirk, he had a real, genuine career-threatening injury, which took a lot of time to get right and to heal. And he's getting back. He's still not 100% fit, but he's getting closer all the time. Nico Springer needs to find treble 18 and can't. So Dirk should get 2 darts for a 4-2 lead. Daylight for the first time for Van Duijvenbode. This is a big moment. You feel it's a big moment, and it goes. Porter's interview with Sky Sports shows naivety. If I'm being honest, Ron, I haven't heard it. Is it available anywhere to watch? Because last night, all we had was the feed, not the inserts, like interviews and stuff like that. Is it available anywhere to listen to? Yeah, so basically, he showed me at one of the exhibitions he tried to do last year. So if he just stood there like that, you could see both shoulder blades, and one of them was just literally like that. He had no control over it. His whole shoulder blade was just flapping away and was doing nothing. It was horrid. I'm not sure what the technical term for that is, but it didn't look great. Nico Springer, though, will not go away. Dirk finding a couple of treble 5s, but gets him out of jail. Treble 20 with the last one. Will that be enough? Dirk could do with a 140 minimum here. And then right on cue. So 180 would have been better, but it gets him to a finish first. Springer has got to set up, and he does. That's good from Springer. He's on the champagne shot. This one is finally balanced. .52 left for Dirk. The setup is good. Can Springer pop the cork? Treble 19 leaves the ball. Treble 19 leaves the ball. Not going to go. Two at tops for Van Duijvenbode. One at tens. Massive, huge last start from Dirk to go 5-3 up. They're both averaging a ton. This is a joy. We said this could be the game of the night. It takes two to tango, and they are tangoing. What a game this is. Dirk knew that was a big moment as well. You just saw the little celebration from him. And he's threatening it here in this moment. Is he going to win it in style? Nico Springer has left 170, but Dirk is going to leave something a lot lower. He's on a 10 dart leg to win it. 171 to leave 16, unless Springer can produce a masterpiece. Oh, I thought it was going to be on for a minute. He found the first treble 20, but then slipped into the treble 5. But he has tapped Dirk on the top shoulder and said, "You better hit, pal, because I'm ready. I'm waiting." Match starts for Dirk. Last dart in hand, Dirk van Duijvenbode with a cheeky little 12 dart leg to beat Nico Springer, averaging 103.85. Springer 101.73. That is a fabulous game on the European Tour. What a game. What a game of arrows. I'll tell you what, Dirk is just getting back to his best, which is great to see. Remember, he had to qualify for the last set of European Tours. Where does this put him on the Pro Tour order of merit? Oh, we got rid of the Euro Tour race. That's a... European Tour race, there it is. European Championship race. So, yeah, Dirk has now gone back into the Pro Tour places, so he won't have to qualify at the moment for 7 and 8. Joe Cullen snuck back in there as well. Coming next, Martin Schindler taking on Thomas Lovely. And Thomas Lovely has won the darts. Now that Littler is around, he's double 17. I think Littler doesn't leave double 17 too much, does he? He double 15. He leaves a lot. So, what are we saying then? Schindler, the Wall, or Lovely? Thomas Lovely. Shindiggity. Big smile from Dirk. Look, I know he's lost, but Nico Springer's stock continues to rise. So, we have got 3 games to go and they should all be decent. Schindler against Lovely, De Decker against Klose, and to end the night, Cullen against Owen. Remember everyone, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop us a like as well. We massively appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you very much for it. In 2024, 2p of every pound of revenue went to the bottom 64 players, while 27p of every pound went to matchroom and directors. Look, Ron, I know, but until someone challenges the PDC, it won't change, and unfortunately, no one else has got the money to do it. What they'll say is, if you don't like it, go and play somewhere else. And again, by the way, I don't like this, but I just know how they think. They know that, say, 24 tour card holders go, I don't want a piece of this. They know that 24 off the dev tour will still want to go and have a go at it. So I just don't see how it ever changes. yes, we can try. However, if you question it too much, you get banned. I'm not sure if Rob's in the chat room. I've shown him a couple of messages. If you don't play the game, you don't get invited, and then there's no channel. Yeah, this is the thing, that they hold the power for everything. I have done that in the past, Ron, and they don't make the edit. If there's stuff they don't like, they have the right to say, take it out, or the whole interview doesn't go out. They literally control everything. I say Rob's in the chat room as well, Ron, that I've shown Rob screenshots of stuff that I've had. 100%. Because they run everything, they own everything. Because there is no competitor. There's no one that can compete with it. If stuff goes on social from a player, they get told to take it down, even though it's their own socials as well. We saw that when Luke's tweet was taken down last week. Oh, 100%, it is. But their answer has always been, if you don't like it, you don't have to play here, go and play elsewhere. Look, it's not as bad as what I'm making out here, but it can be if they want it to be, is what I'm saying. And this goes back to the point that we've spoken about a lot, the fact that the sport has no governing body is an issue. Because effectively, the PDC say themselves, we're just the promoter. We are putting on events and giving players opportunities to play. If they don't want to play, not a problem. But there's always going to be these youngsters, these kids that are coming through. If the older players don't like it and go, this isn't for me, that they know these kids will come through and still want that opportunity. Sounds like we're independent, yeah, 100%. Oh, Max, look, yeah, we all know that Dana White is the same, the way he runs UFC, 100%. We saw it at in boxing as well. Was it the Joshua Dubois fight at Wembley? That there were certain media outlets that were refused media. I think the Express was one of them. That they were refused media access, weren't allowed in. Yeah, when these kids get to 24, but by then they've been in the PDC system so long, because they've been playing on the dev tour and that, they just naturally filter into the pro system, the PDC system, and they're used to it and they accept it. Yeah, and the ones that don't get cards will just go and play on the Challenge Tour. And like you said, the promotional company says, we're not forcing you to play. If you don't like it, go and play elsewhere. Darts needs a union. Sort of, Scott, but it's when the players' union is funded by the PDC prize money, as Matt Edgar said, they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. Darts needs Gob with a backbone, but this is part of the reason why Gob's not doing the live lounge anymore, because if he knows if he carries on, his career aspirations will be gone. That's part of the reason why he's not doing the live lounge anymore after show 200, because he knows if he carries on speaking, then his career path will be closed. Like it just goes back to, if like they'll say, if you don't want to play in this system, go and play the WDF system. Darts should appoint a welfare officer. Hayfield, does Schindler remind you of? Not maybe a little bit. No. Look, as business people, Matchroom doesn't get to be valued at £1 billion if they don't know what they're doing. Martin Schindler broke in leg 1, but Lovely is threatening a break back here in leg number 2. Does break straight back, 1-1. It's not an act thing, it's about integrity and fairness and the right. Look, in an ideal world, yes, but we all know that sport and business isn't fair. If it was worth $5 billion, that doesn't make darts better. It probably does. Because if it's work, then they're making more money. So there's more money in the sport. I agree with you. People shouldn't go to work and not get paid. I've made my feelings very well known on that, but that's not going to happen. Three legs, three breaks of throw. This is a bit scrappy. To a point, Maximus, but Matt Edgar explained it really well, and I agree that if you look at the current ranking table from 1 to 128, you've got 2 years worth of money in there. So if someone outside the 64 wins some more games and jumps up into it, they're pushing everyone else down. So then they're on a livable wage, but the one they've knocked down to their spot then isn't. So at the moment, I agree, there isn't enough money in the system to have 128 professional players. But they're the promoter and they can distribute the money how they like. And they know that there'll always be youngsters that want to chase glory and want to chase ambitions and chase their goals. So we'll be willing to sacrifice. Yes, one of the players, player A, might go, I'm not doing it anymore, and walk away from the system. But they're all, it's easy for a youngster to chase, Rob, is what I'm saying. There will always be someone that is willing to roll the dice and gamble. Yeah, next cab on the rank, 100%. There is always someone willing to chase. Look at Connor Scott today, right? If Rob Cross had pulled out 20 minutes earlier, they'd have said to Connor Scott, right, do you want to try and get here to play? He'd have had probably 24 hours to get from the UK to Riesa, which isn't the easiest place to go. Because he's travelling on the day, or the day before, flights would have been astronomical. So he would have only been guaranteed, 1,250 quid? It might have cost him that to get there, but he's willing to roll the dice and chase that dream and that ambition. And there's always going to be people that are willing to do that. Phil, did you catch Little on the overlap? Got a feeling won't be any more darts guests on that show. Look, I think that I could see Michael going on there, as in MVG and so on. I haven't watched it all yet either. I don't know yet. Is the only look, we're all hoping MVG will be fit. You feel this lovely need to hold here. It's just getting a bit scrappy. So, for instance, there was I don't particularly like the website, but I get on well with a couple of guys that work for it. Darts News published an article about Luke Littler and his supposed new girlfriend a week, 10 days ago. They were basically told to take it down, but yet then within 2-3 days there was almost exactly the same from the national newspapers, but that was fine. Shindiggity. Shindiggity. Hold on. Martin Schindler. Oof. Darts is on PDC TV. Yeah, and yeah. I haven't read. I've seen the headlines, but I haven't read the article. The second part of your comment is correct, Brad. Yep. Talksport interview, cool. Martin Schindler 4-2 in front now. Said he likes a few dark fruits, but at the end of the day, look, if they're socially having a drink, then not a problem at all. I don't get how Humphrey's not like because of the coverage the darts gets in national newspapers is important to the PDC, especially over the period of the Worlds and things like that. And also, you've got to remember that. By the way, I'm not a fan of national press, as everyone knows. But if the organisation has a good working relationship with said publications, if there's any dirt coming, then they can possibly get it stopped from print and things like that. Where if they haven't got a good relationship with them, they'll just print it. This is big for Schindler. This would put him one away. Last starting hand is huge for Shindiggity. Martin Schindler. 5-2 up on Thomas Lovely. Look, Thomas Lovely, I've been impressed with him on tour. He's averaging nearly 97 here. He's not doing a lot wrong. Another one. Agree, Brad. Look, I'm not a fan of it, as you all know. But 1-2-4 for Shin Diggity. Joyce didn't qualify. Gurney pulled out. Not sure why. I think Joyce might have pulled out. So I know Gurney certainly pulled out. And there it is, a 6-2 win for Martin Schindler as he beats Thomas Lovely 6-2. Look, Lovely has done well on tour so far. Brett, look, I am with you 100%. That's very good from Martin Schindler. A 6-2 win. I certainly don't. I haven't bought a newspaper for probably 20 years. Look, I agree that darts wasn't, but he has taken it to superstardom. What you struggling on, Ron? So the honest answer is, Daniel, without going through emails, I can't remember who the replacements were. But Shindiggity is through. Coming next, Mike De Decker, who has the darts. Right, folks, I'm just going to pop to the loo, and toilets are downstairs, so I'll be a couple of minutes. Good job, there's another game about to start. Give me a second. That's better, folks. Sorry. Had to go for a pee. Oh. Had to go for a quick pee, didn't I? Always wash your hands, always. What's first? I'm a Gemini. So then, Decker against Klose, what are we saying? Of course Harry Kane scores, it's what he does, isn't it? It's what he does. (6-2) to Decker. Closer can play, but the Decker is playing well. What will darts be like when Wade, Ando, MVG? It's certainly going to be interesting times to see what it's like, Brad. Look, realistically, we've probably only got 3 or 4 years left of Ando and Wright, I'd say. Right, pictures are back as mine. Schindler was loving it. To be fair, I think Martin Schindler is an incredible player. Front line average of 119. That is exceptional from Shindiggity. Who's next for Shindiggity? I agree. I think that prize money increase, Ron, because I also think the prize fund in general will go down for Lakeside again, meaning there's probably a danger that the overall money goes down as well. So yeah, I agree. I think this is probably the best chance. What game do you think right now gets the most views? What if are we talking, Brad? If we were to make up a fantasy game, or if we could manipulate a draw, so to speak? I'll just wait for your answer because I know the answer if that's what the question is. Dream World Final is a little bit different, but in terms of eyes on, we were close to getting it this year. I think if we at the Worlds had Fallon against Luke, it would be genuinely insane. I think that the numbers for Fallon against Luke would be genuinely ridiculous. Daniel Klose is on the stage. You'd probably say that Littler would be the biggest. I'm interested to see if the women's increase will push entries up over 100. Possibly. I think a lot of it all depends on the scheduling as well, Ron. When those events are scheduled, if they're clashing with other events. No, Max was not. Look, in terms of what Bo is doing on the board, I agree. But just looking at the digital numbers that we do, whenever we post anything out with Fallon, interview-wise and so on, she still does huge numbers, like ridiculous numbers. Just seeing that Cross pulled out to Vince to replace Van Gerwen, yeah. Cross, there's no replacement for Cross because he pulled out after the tournament started. So I think Schindler gets a bye through to Sunday. Such a shame Hatter doesn't win a title. Look, Damon Hatter is an incredible talent, but yeah, like he does need a title to his name. De Decker has the darts. Evening, Mark. Hope you are good, buddy. Welcome along, everyone. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Just have a look at some. No, it's alright. Peanut or chocolate? Chocolate, but I don't mind peanut. Yeah, Menzies won this afternoon, played well. On the way to overtime shift. What do you do, Mark, out of interest? Must be paying good money for overtime on a Friday night. Forklift truck team leader, nice. Favourite Ben and Jerry's flavour. I like the chocolate. Is it the chocolate one? Caramel choo choo. French or Italian food for you? Easily Italian. Not a massive fan of French food. The Decker looking at double 16 to take the opening leg on throw. And is given Closer a chance. Blah, nah. Blah. My favourite cuisine, or favourite two, Chinese and Thai, or Thai Asian food. I love it. Oh, manual for me all day long. I love driving. Love physically. None of this automatic electric shit. Daniel Closer has punished the mistakes from the Decker. It's a sloppy start from both. Evening, Kieran. Hope you are good, buddy. Oh yeah, 100%. Thai food's lovely. Love Thai food. Augusta next week. Yeah, looking forward to the Masters as... Oh, is there... No European Tour next week, which is good. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the European Tour, but trying to watch that and the Masters is hard work. Preferred percentage of tungsten in a dart. 90 or 95. The Decker is not firing on all cylinders here at the moment. For EastEnders or Corrie. More of an Emmerdale man myself than those two. If I had to pick. Yeah, look, Darius played lovely. And the Decker does level it up. It's still scrappy. Better from the Decker. First leg he lets slip. Couldn't get the job done, but he has levelled it all up. Doesn't look happy, the Decker. Just like facial expressions and that. He knows that this is should be comfortably beating someone that's only averaging 75. Have you met Charlie Murphy? Yeah, I've met Charlie loads. Really, really nice lad, Charlie. He's probably the one darts influencer I don't mind. Oliver says, evening Phil, why do you think cross starts off? So sometimes it can be a mental thing. Sometimes you can kind of switch off. It can just be little things like that. Look, that's the plan, Daniel. Look, we will keep doing our thing and know it works, and we will get there. %100%. Daniel Closer is not making this easy for De Decker. But De Decker's finishing has been clinical the last couple of legs. Ron, we'll put the cameras on the board tomorrow. I haven't switched them on today. I'll make sure that's set up for tomorrow. My WWE Mount Rushmore. Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Roman Reigns. I was never a Cena guy. Closer has just upped the ante here. For the first time, he's got his average above Mike De Decker's. His is climbing, and De Decker's isn't really doing a lot here. Again, it was hard to leave Brett out, so he's under this. Only having 4 spots, there's so many that you could put on there, isn't there? But for me, that whole Attitude Era was just the best. Could I cheat and put, instead of take Triple H off and put DX up there as 1? I think Roman's already there for me, the way what he done the last 4 years. But yeah, Cody is going that way as well. Closer levels it up to 2. Yeah, Edge as a kid was superb. Jake the Snake, back in the day. The Attitude Era never retired. I don't think so either. The most. De Decker's just got to be a bit careful here, because Closer is doing everything right at the moment. He's putting De Decker under all kinds. Yeah, I agree. Randy Orton's incredible as well. It's a missed chance there for Daniel Klose. Look, he's in front, but it could have been so much better. The Decker has just rescued the situation. He will get a chance, but 99 is tricky. Online WWE. We are talking. How are we doing, Big Johnny? You alright? Hope you are good. And Klose has missed a huge opportunity here to break the Decker. It's a scrappy affair. But the Decker, one dart in hand. This is huge. And it goes. Klose has been the better player recently, but the Decker just keeps edging in front when he needs to. Phil, have you acknowledged your tribal chief? Oh, don't. It's the match from hell as a fan in one respect, but it's also a dream match because I genuinely love all three of them. Yeah, look, it's... Mike the Decker played well at the European Tour last time. I was expecting a little bit more from him here. I still will not forget that pop in Chicago when Punk came back. I don't know, Kieran. It's so hard to judge. Look, Luke is an incredible talent. We all know that, but on any given day or night, they're all beatable. Yeah, look, I get he's winning, but I'm expecting more from him. He's going to get a dart, probably double 16, and misses. Closer, one dart at double 8, and it goes. Now they are level again. I just think that Klose is playing the better darts at the moment than the Decker in this match. The Decker was in front because he obviously won the ball. But I think the classier moments have come from Klose recently. I haven't heard the interview yet, Brad. I've obviously seen the old cupping of the ear and that, which is not a good look, and I think the writing is on the wall. But I don't know who comes in. Look, I'd want Pochettino back, but that's not a realistic option right now, unfortunately. Oh, hello. Are we going fishing? Not this time, but Klose has piled the pressure on this 104 for De Decker. And it's not going to go, so Klose now has the break opportunity. Can he take it? No is the answer. He's come inside and then come inside nines as well. He's committed the cardinal sin. De Decker escapes. He's dodged a couple of bullets there, but Mike De Decker does lead 4-3. Dan Dawson is surprised by De Decker. He's giving him criticism. Yeah, I'm expecting more from him. He's a major champion. He's played well. I'm expecting more than an 85 average from him now. I think this is below par for him. Can you give us your predictions? Who's going to win all the majors for the rest of the season? Oh, look, this is brutal. This can change in the blink of an eye, Kieran, can't it? But I could get this totally wrong. But the World Cup, England, the Betfred World Match Play, Gerwyn Price, the World Series of Darts events, they could be anyone, the World Series of Darts finals, Luke Humphreys, the World Grand Prix, Johnny Clayton, the European Championship, Luke Littler, the Grand Slam of Darts, Gerwyn Price, the Players' Championship Finals, Michael van Gerwen, I've got him winning one. Spread him around a bit, haven't I? Daylight now for De Decker. Big moment there. Oh, I forgot the Premier League as well. Premier League, Luke Littler. That would be funny. No, I think the standard is just so good at the moment that will he win TV titles? 100%. Oh no, I'm changing my mind. Gazzy doesn't win the Grand Slam, Gary Anderson does. Look, Luke will be in the mix to win everything, but if he does win everything, then absolutely fair play, because that's incredible. But the standard is so good all around that players will put in a good performance against him. Just let them win the £1 million at the Worlds. I don't know yet. to Decker to get the job done. I've gone Littler for the Premier League. And Mike de Decker does get the job done. 6-3 over Daniel Klose. Klose averages nearly 92, but it wasn't enough. De Decker 89-94. A couple of crucial finishes from the Belgium in there. So, one game to go, and I'm looking forward to this one. It will be the rock star Joe Cullen taking on Stack Attack Robert Owen. I think Clayton for the Grand Prix or something like that. I think the Ferret's playing well. So I'll just go through my random predictions once more. So, Premier League, Littler. World Cup of Darts, England. The Betfred World Match Play, Gerben Price. World Series of Darts Finals, Littler. World Grand Prix, Johnny Clayton. European champion. Who's going to be European champion? Luke Humphreys is going to be European champion. Gary Anderson is going to win the Grand Slam, and MVG will win the Players' Championship Finals. There you go. Settled on it. And the Worlds, I don't know yet. I'm going to plead the fifth until we know the qualifying criteria. I've swapped it around. I think he wins the European Championships instead. Chizzy. I don't think it ever happens. Then the pig will fly. Oh, Teresa, if I get all them right, then I'll quit. I'll quit darts. If we run this back after Minehead and they're all right, I'm done. I'm walking away. It depends how long he plays for, Brad. Look, I still think there are titles within MVG. Look, the injury is a little bit of a setback, but I still think he'll win titles. End on 100%. I'm out. Romeo done. I don't think all the odds will be out for that yet. However, Ron, what I'll do is, because I'm friends with a few odds compilers, shall we say, I will get a price for that and put £1 on it. Let me message one of them now. Oh, dogs all day long. So I'm just typing this back out so someone can try and price it up for me. World Grand Prix. Grand Slam. Right, I've just written it out. Just double checking. Premier League Littler, World Cup England, match play Price, World Series Finals Littler, World Grand Prix Clayton, European Championship Humphreys, Grand Slam Anderson, Players Championship Finals MVG. Yeah, European Championship Humphreys. What breed of dog? I do love a nice lab. If I had time, because they are high energy, I do like a Springer Spaniel as well. Right, here we go. Robert Owen has the darts. Oh, new shirt for Stack Attack. Europa League, I hope so. Oh, Maximus, no socks. Who wears socks in bed? That's criminal. I can confirm I have 2 traders on the case, and they said it will probably be Monday, but they're going to sort the price out. So hopefully I'll have a price for the streams on Tuesday for the Players' Championships. I do like that new Joe Cullen shirt. I think it's funky. and currently being crashed by a 5-month-old Staffing. Oh, King Charles Cavaliers are lovely as well. Again, I do like a nice... The Border Collie is lovely as well. So yeah, two traders on the case. One of them will probably come back and say, put as many noughts on the end as you want. Had dogs all my childhood, don't like cats now. I have 4 of them. When I used to house, like when my one of my really good mates used to go away a lot, before I got involved in this, he had 4 dogs, and I used to like dog stroke house sit for him when he was away. Two black labs, a pug, and a Springer Spaniel. It was lovely. Right, we are underway. Robert Owen is kicking things off. He has the darts. Last game of what has been a fabulous session here at Online Darts. Again, if you haven't yet, make sure you just drop us a quick like and subscribe, everyone. Meet and greet. We can see what we can do. Joe Cullen has made a positive start here. He's left tops to break. And here's 1-0 to the rockstar Joe Cullen. I like Pat McAfee. Owen. Disappointment of having his throw broken, has started back well here though. How do people play? I can't do it. I hate spinny flights. Hate them. But Robert Owen is just going to set this up. Cullen not been at the races here in this leg. It is 1-1. It's a great response from Robert Owen. But it's a bit sluggish from both of them here. Yeah, we said that earlier, James. It looked like the old slim flights he was using. He played well. Do you know if this is on Now TV? I don't think so. It's only PDC TV. Cullen has broken again. Neither player comfortable on their own throw at the moment. If the PDC and ITV don't agree a new deal, I don't know what will happen if that happens. This is better from Cullen. He just seems to have composed himself in the last leg and a half. BBC haven't got any money, so I don't see that happening. Love the Opera 180 call. No, I don't see TNT. I think they'll want to keep some element on free to air. Cullen has just moved through the gears here. And Robert Owen has it all to do. But Cullen just looks composed. This is good from Joseph. Free to play this. The honest answer is, James, I don't know. But let's be fair, whatever they paid for the last deal, it's going to be more this time. Robert Owen leaves the Hinks. ADC coming near my tank. Nice. You'll enjoy that. Robert Owen has time on his side here. Cullen not on a finish, but Owen would have wanted to have left it a little bit handier than that. But Cullen doesn't really apply much pressure. It's scrappy. One dart at top for Robert Owen, and it doesn't go. So Cullen is going to get a look at the 130 here. He's going to get a look at the bullseye. Wide. So Owen coming back for tops. Doubling disaster for stack attack. Cullen, it'll be 1 for double 16. There's the 1. There's the double 16. 4-1 to the Rockstar. Stuka is suffering massively since Eurosport combined with TNT. The view of it. That's interesting, Brad. Like, I knew that TNT had put Eurosport all into one, but didn't realise it was that bad. How long until Paxton moves along to a bigger spot? Look, Emma is an incredible broadcaster. She already does EFL football, which she does a great job at. She does some stuff on the tennis as well. Like goes across to New York, Flushing Meadow. So look, would I be surprised if Emma was tapped up to do a bigger sport? No, because she's a great broadcaster. How important is hockey placement? You just got to try and work out what feels right. Try different places on the hockey and see what works for you. She's an ambassador for Winmore, yeah. Treble 17 leaves the bullseye, doesn't go. So Joe Cullen will have a look at this 120 for 5-1. Owen's had his chances and not taken them. Will Cullen. Not this time he won't. So Robert Owen, 78 and a chance to halve the deficit. 2 at double 12. He needs this. This has to go. And it doesn't. And Joe Cullen has punished every mistake that Robert Owen has made. Is there a way back for Robert Owen? He's going to have to win 5 on the spin. And I haven't even looked, Brad, I'll have a little flutter tomorrow, but there's no strategy, rhyme or reason to my picks at the moment because I haven't had a look. Joe Cullen looking to win it from this point. He's down to a manageable finish. That could be all she wrote for stack attack. He is up against it, under the cosh. Cullen again was played okay, not great. It's 97 for Rob. He's going to get a dart, and he's missed. So Joe Cullen, double 16. It's his favourite for a big win for the Rockstar. One match dart misses. Second match dart hits. Joe Cullen defeats Rob Owen 6-1. Not much between them in the averages, but the finishing stats are key. Rob Owen 1 from 8. Joe Cullen 6 from 14. That is his undoing. Let the pictures on the stream catch up. And Cullen plays tomorrow. And the Rockstar is rocking. Everyone, thank you very, very much for what has been another incredible day on our wonderful streams with you all. If you haven't yet, why not? Drop us a like and subscribe. We appreciate all your support as we try and get to 50k. I am running off quite quick because I want to go to bed. We will be back 12 o'clock tomorrow for the first of our double sessions here at Online Darts. Make sure you join us. But I've been Phil Bars, we've been Online Darts, and we'll see you all in a few hours' time.